Hello, good morning. It's Friday the 10th. I'm FX Blue and this is the market brief. So we're continuing to lift the lockdown. Apparently, a good session in the pub is nothing without a morning of regret. So we'll be able to sweat out those hangovers when the gyms reopen in a couple of weeks' time. So fear not, fatties. You can still get your chassis in shape for the summer. Just remember, it's curls for the girls that build your weapons for the gun show. You are welcome. But meanwhile, all these steps back to normality are of course welcomed, but market fears are still holding back any real advance for the pound. Sunak has just added about another 30 billion to the cost of recovery, and of course there's the lingering threat of a second spike. And then, of course, there's always our good old friend Brexit, because while the pandemic is by far the biggest concern right now, the market fears the economic effect of no-deal Brexit could last way longer. So all this serves to keep sterling rather on the back foot for a while. The dollar is driven by risk-on, risk-off shifts in risk appetite, but the pound is held back a little too. Yesterday we closed virtually unchanged on the day, around 126 against the dollar. Over in the US, dear old Donald seems pretty desperate to see the country back to normality as his re-election campaign continues to falter. The trouble is, certainly what he's struggling with, is the buck stops with him over COVID, and any action that he does take or not is very easy to criticise from a position of opposition. His latest gamble is to instruct schools and colleges to reopen with little consideration for social distancing or indeed local infection data. This has started a row with Harvard, which is refusing to reopen until they feel it's safe to do so. So Trump has threatened to withhold funding until his demands are met. That standoff has plenty to go, I'm sure. Politically, meanwhile, Joe Biden doesn't need to get involved that much. A fairly simple strategy of saying nothing avoids any political gaffes of his own, and the polls continue to come around to him, seemingly just because he's not Donald Trump. We'll have to see how long that lasts before he has to show some leadership of his own. In the Eurozone, it's been a virtually data-free week, but looking ahead, we've got the ECB meeting and the summit next week. But the euro is likely to remain fairly reactive to dollar drivers. There is hope that the summit may find a solution to the funding crisis. That remains the biggest short-term issue over there. But current market sentiment is that we won't see a conclusion anytime soon. And that's also a view shared by the Dutch Prime Minister, who made comments to support that. Euro dollar slipped below 113 yesterday. We opened today around 112.65. And that's it for the week. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll be back again on Monday. Hope you can join me then. All the best.
If you do not have a clue, then just tweet through and ask FX Blue.